And now, please welcome Kiosha K. LaFleur Anders, founder of Coffee Milk Media and host of The Pause.
Hi, everybody. I couldn't wait to speak to y'all. First of all, I have my glasses in my hands, my notebook, because we are talking about perimenopause. So I will forget things, but thank y'all so much for spending your Friday night with us. I feel like I've been marching all day, so I do have to catch my breath, but I really appreciate y'all being here. And we're gonna get right into it. I would like to welcome to the stage Dr. Susan Hardwick Smith and Karen Cerezo. Thank y'all so much for being up here with me. I feel so smart with glasses on, when really it's because I can't see. We're gonna dive right into the questions, and the first one, Dr. Susan, is what is actually happening in our bodies during perimenopause and menopause?
Well, to answer that question, I go back to puberty. Somewhere around about 12 or so, we started releasing eggs and we started having periods. So starting about that time, we were producing 3 critical hormones: estradiol, progesterone, and testosterone, which is often overlooked, but also really important. Now, there's a lot of variation. Not everyone had perfect periods, but let's just say we had periods every 28 to 30 days or so during the time that we were fertile. Breaks in between when we were on birth control or when we were pregnant. And then let's just hold that thought and jump to menopause. At that time, our period stops. We're no longer releasing eggs. We're not producing any estradiol or progesterone and very little testosterone in many cases. That's pretty easy to define. It's still defined as exactly 1 year after your last period, which doesn't even make sense for a lot of women if we've had a hysterectomy, maybe we have an IUD or other reasons, but that's still the way it's defined. So if we put menopause over there and kind of young and fertile over here, there's this big gap in the middle. And I can tell you, practicing as a traditional OB-GYN, now I've been in practice since 1999, we were taught absolutely nothing about this. Maybe we knew about fertility. If we were lucky, we knew a little bit about menopause, but very little, but we weren't taught about the in-between. It was almost like just one day it stops. But it's not like that at all. Typically during our 40s, but with a huge range, things start changing. So we're not releasing an egg every month on time anymore. Our periods might get more irregular. Instead of a nice, gentle curve, estrogen can go up really high and down really low. And so whatever symptoms we might have had with our period are accentuated. I heard you saying you felt a little snippy. I mean, PMS can turn into rage, anxiety, depression, even suicidality goes up. So a lot of mental health challenges, which have typically, we've been told, just put up with it, or maybe there's something wrong with you, or just go get help, go to a psychologist. We're told something's wrong with you. That message is still very prevalent. And it's not just in your head at all. Our brains are actually changing in response to these massive hormone swings. Often we call it hormone chaos or roller coaster, and it feels like that.
Yeah.
I know I had times where I would act like a completely different person. I had young preteens at the time and would like scream at them, like, get in the car.
They'll do it to you.
Yeah. One of my 11-year-olds at the time was like, Mommy, we're just going to school. And I'm like, being counseled by an 11-year-old, it's like it's quite distressing. Sleep can be disrupted, moods, obviously, temperature sensitivity, as you mentioned. Basically, everything our brain does for us can be disrupted. Now, during that time of perimenopause, now you mentioned premenopause, you know, these terms are not very well defined and they're often interchanged. But just applying to that in-between. During that in-between, and there's no lab test or no diagnosis, no certain test that you can have done to say you're perimenopausal. It's more listening to the patient and just their constellation of symptoms, but typically in our 40s. I have never heard a patient describe it as being pleasant, just to say.
Right?
It's some kind of combination of various different discomforts that have traditionally just been pushed aside, like, oh, she's just being hormonal, or don't make such a big deal of it. So really excited that there are now avenues to talk about this so that we can share our stories and not feel like there's something wrong with me. Because if you say, hey, I had that too, like, I remember that happened to me, it really gets rid of that idea that I'm alone and something's wrong with me. Because many or most of us share a lot of these same symptoms.
Yeah, and isn't it fun being a woman?